am ready.
This is Real or Not. So I read a little news headline from maybe over the weekend, and you tell me if it's a real news headline or it's not. Okay, we all ready?
You're pretty honest, so.
Huh?
I said you're pretty honest, so
Oh,
I
yeah,
have a hard time telling you that it's
Good
not
point.
real.
Good point, Andrew. Okay, here we go with the first story. Mother asked for $20,000 wine budget in child support case. Mother asked for a $20,000 wine budget in child support case. Real story, not real story. Anybody?
That's all?
It's got to be real.
Listen, and listen, I don't want to, I've been through the system. I do understand how the tensions and the pressures can become pretty overwhelming in family court.
This has got to be real.
It is real. It's a real story. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a hedge fund manager worth about $660 million is going to be paying $8 million a month in child support to the mother of his child. But the real story here is part of that includes $10,500 per month is a wine budget. Now, keep in mind, she doesn't drink that much wine, but it's the quality of wine that she drinks, right? I mean, some of these bottles can, you know how somebody can say, hey, I went to that place for dinner and it was $800. Well, yeah, if you have a really expensive bottle of wine. Okay, here's a story. This is, let's say this is from Portland, being Oregon, Portland. A man, the DMV there allows a Portland man to wear a fox hat in his ID photo after he claims he needs a religious exemption because it's part of his religion that he must wear a fox hat. Did they allow him? Now, remember, this is his driver's license photo. When he gets pulled over, he hands the driver's license to the officer, and on the top of his head is a fox. Kind of like Daniel Boone style. Real story or not real story?
I hope that's not real. I'm going to say it's not real.
A Portland man finally has his driver's license after a 9-month appeal for a religious exemption. The man, who goes by Bishop, wanted to wear a fox hat in order to honor his spirit animal. The DMV folks at the DMV let him wear it in his ID, but after it was submitted for approval, Bishop was denied. His religious reasons were later approved after a 9-month appeal. He spent legal fees and spent 9 months appealing it. That is a true story.
So this is like the woman in New York who had the spaghetti
burqa
colander
over
her head because she said that she was part of the religion of the flying spaghetti colanders or something like that. True stories.
Man shot to death after allegedly trying to break into his own apartment.
You see this happen all too often.
Not.
This does happen. This does happen a lot. What happens is people, I think, and this is why it's why I shouldn't carry a gun, because I'd be fearing that somebody's trying to get into the house and it turns out it's one of your kids or something.
This is the Blade Runner, right?
Yeah, right. Same deal.
Why can't the guy trying to get in, though, go, hey, Bob, open the door?
Yeah, it's me. Yeah,
You know?
I don't understand it.
Some people are just looking to go,
Speaking of looking to go, if you'd stop right there, here's a story. Real or not, this man was in dire need of going to the bathroom. He was arrested for speeding, and actually, once inside the police officer's car,
oh boy,
couldn't help himself. True story, not true story?
That's a true story.
It's as true as can be.
Was he speeding home to go to the bathroom?
Correct.
Wow.
Have you ever been there? And I think as we get a little older.
Yes.
Listen, I've been driving while standing. I mean, it's you somehow get into a standing position like, oh my God, I've got to go.
I mean, have you ever been stuck in the LIE in the summer for 6 hours?
It's awful. Yeah, if you've ever been, it's terrible. In early March, an unfortunate soul put the pedal to the metal so as to reach his house before blanking himself. But the fates were not on his side. Police pulled him over, and he said, "Officer, I have to go to the bathroom." And the officer said, "Yeah, likely story." And he argued with him, and to the point where the officer put him in the car. At which time, you know what probably happened and did happen. And then finally, that, by the way, is a true story.
And the guy said, dude, I told you.
I told you. I tried to warn you. I tried to warn you. And in Nashville, you might have seen this story. It's been all over the place. This is a true story. A burglar tells the homeowner he's breaking into the homeowner's home to save his wife, Taylor Swift. I'd get into that whole story. I'll get in a little. A Nashville man is now behind bars. He was trying to save Taylor Swift. According to the police affidavit, 26-year-old Paul Heron knocked on the door of a man who happens to be a landlord, thinking it was someone dropping off a rent check. The homeowner opened the door and found Heron, who shoved the door open and placed his left foot inside to keep the man from closing the door on him. The homeowner instructed him to leave, but he continued to try to shove the door open, telling the homeowner, I'm here to save Taylor Swift. She's my wife. You know, this could happen in Utica. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I love how he's using the full name, right? Like
Taylor Swift is my wife. I'm here to save her. Got a break. Hold on at WIBX.